Okay, today's talk is going to be about getting our scars healed. What does it mean? Trauma. Scar tissue forms when the body doesn't repair itself properly. And the reason it doesn't, according to many commentators who are very aware in consciousness, it's because the trauma, the pain, the emotion surrounding the energy is preventing healing of the body. Is this why the body is eventually fall down, break down, and die? Could be. Nevertheless, I'm not going to see if I can bring back the dead today. I want us to work on our own scars. Some of our scars are not really in our bodies. These might be scars from, I don't know. I don't know. But we're going to try to see if we can clear some of this stuff. It'd be lovely to clear it all, but we'll go for, let's clear some of it, and if we can get some of it, that's a good start for today. Let's see, where are we going with it? Okay, so what are these incidents that are giving us scarred bodies? Maybe they're giving us scars in other places, but scarred bodies, well, they're just strange things. And some of them could be from so long ago that you can't really remember where the scar came from. So how are you going to access that? Why do you need to access it? You need to access it so that you can release whatever is still stuck in your, let's call it your whole field, so your invisible aura as well. Okay, maybe some of these traumas are disguised. This is camouflage. Maybe some of your trauma are disguised. And they're disguised so well that you don't even see them as being a scar. I call these kind of scars armor. It's armor because it is places in your memory complexes that you don't want to go there. It's like armor, a knight in shining armor, or armor on a tank, a battle tank. It's designed to keep things from getting through. Well, these traumas weren't designed to keep you from getting through. They were just scars. And your mind doesn't want to go there because it says it's just very dense energy and I can't penetrate there anyway. So it just doesn't go there. Camouflaged, maybe you couldn't go to this part of your mind. So in front of this scar, this armor, you put some other stuff. And then you put some other stuff in front of that stuff. So you created a whole jungle of stuff in front of the armor. So you don't even know the armor's there, but you see a very dense forest. And if you cleared the forest, then you would come to the armor. And this is sort of the way that this density is in your body, mind, memory complexes. How many of these complexes do you have? I don't know. I think a lot of people have got so many of these, it's not easy to even count. It's more than 5, okay? It's lots. It's lots and lots. Someone wants to know, is it No, I'm not going to go into like things like past lives. It's too. It could be. It could be. This is an alligator. What do you have? Well, let's say. Okay, so you have the armor, and then you built a forest of camouflage in front of the armor, and then you built a moat. Remember moats, M-O-A-T? It's a big trench that you dig around a castle, and you fill it with water, and then you throw alligators in it. The only way to get into the castle is you've got to have a drawbridge, and the bridge is up like this. You can't get across the moat. They put the bridge down. You can walk across the drawbridge, get into the castle, and then they lift it up again. So the moat keeps you out, and if the drawbridge is up, you can't cross. So you've got so many layers of, different fortifications that are protecting what we call your sacred wounds. Why are they sacred? Well, it's just an old terminology. I don't know why they called it. It's because you cherish these things. What? That's what they say. They're cherished wounds. It's why you're not given to go and find them and heal them, because you're cherishing them. That doesn't make any sense. Well, it certainly does. Why? Well, what are you getting out of carrying these wounds? I don't want to go there because they hurt. Well, yes, but why don't you want to heal these things? Why, If a child falls off their bike and they skin their knee, and you look at it and the knee looks like this is a very deep cut on this knee, you say, I think it needs stitches. You take them to see the doctor and get them stitches put in. It's possible that some of these cherished sacred wounds that you experienced, the doctor couldn't fix. Or maybe there wasn't any kind of doctor to fix a certain kind of wound. Maybe, some of these wounds you might have needed to see a therapist for or something. But you didn't. And these wounds are still being cherished, but why don't you go now? Well, you disguise them all, so you don't think that these wounds are there. And it's been so many years since these things happened that someone says lifetimes. So many lifetimes since these things happened. Consciously, you're not even aware of these things. Consciously, somebody says, are you okay? So, yeah, I'm fine, I'm perfect. But unconsciously, you're far from perfect. So these sacred, cherished wounds, who is making them sacred and who is making them cherished? I suppose it's your unconscious mind that is cherishing these wounds, making them sacred, and holding them tight in the unconscious so you're not aware of them. So it's the unconscious that cherishes these things and is saying, mine, 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 mine. That's what the seagull is always going, mine, 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 mine. And your unconscious mind is doing the same thing. Mine, 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 my cherished wounds, my sacred wounds. You can't have them. They're mine, they're mine, they're mine, they're mine. So how do you pull these things out of your unconscious mind when you don't even really know what's in there? I think you have to just go with it. There's wounds there. There's enough other people on the planet who talk about doing these kind of things, these kinds of deep healings. And, why am I any different than these other people? I'm not. I can't be. I'm not special. And I know in my own life, there's things that I can still remember that are traumatic. So how many other things that I've forgotten about that are in the unconscious? There's got to be a lot of stuff. That's the way I'm doing it for me. And I'm going to say I'm no different than you. And if you say it's ridiculous, then you're only seeing the camouflage. You're only seeing the camouflage and you're saying there's nothing there. So, how are you going to get this stuff out of your unconscious mind? I just read a story about someone, and I'm sorry to tell you, because it's quite a shock. It's a real shock to a lot of people. I don't even want to tell you this. This is my sacred cherishment. Is I don't even want to tell you what they did. Because I read the post of what they did, and then I read the comments. And I'm afraid of the comments more than I'm afraid of the story. The comments were, that was dangerous. It should have been done under medical supervision. Highly dangerous. Highly dangerous, highly dangerous, highly dangerous. Don't tell these stories. Huge reaction to what this person did. The person did it quite some time ago. The person reported it. Typed out the story. And a bunch of people took it like, oh my God, you're in danger right now. I mean, that's not what the story said. The story said this person did it quite some time ago. But these people all missed that. They didn't see it. Or they saw it and they ignored it and they immediately went into fear. Major fear, fear, fear. Because they have this trauma. And they have a lot of what we call brainwashing about things. So I'm still afraid to tell you the story about exactly what this person did to get into their unconscious, to go and work on healing these things that are camouflaged and put behind a forest and put behind an armored wall. The cherished sacred wounds of the unconscious. I'm still afraid to tell you what they did. So I'm going to skip to another way. Because I just don't want you to stop watching my video when I lay that one on you, so I'm not going to lay it on you, all right? I'm going to give you another one that you're pretty much everyone's going to be able to accept this way of getting at these unconscious wounds. This one you can relax, okay? You can push the fear away. This one you're going to go, oh, okay. Okay, you can accept this one easy, okay? This one is you going to get a massage. I can relax. I can relax. Oh my God, I didn't know what you were going to say in the last one. I was all like, oh, all tense. I was so tense. And just a massage? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can get at these unconscious things through body work and massage. A really, really good massage. Maybe go for like a 2-hour massage with somebody who really knows how to give you a really good any kind of good massage. There's lots of different kinds, but somebody who I've had some massages that I didn't think were very good. Did they help me? Maybe they did, but I've had some massages where I know that I got good massages. Why? Because I was on the table for, 2 hours, the massage table, and while someone was working on the knots in my back and, they were spinning my legs around so that, because my legs were very tight, my hips were very tight, spinning them around, getting them to loosen up. And while that was going on, I felt a lot of, uncomfortableness, bordering on painful. But towards the end of it, I was lying there, my eyes closed, and inside my head, I'm starting to have visions. And they weren't horrible visions. They were lovely visions. My eyes were closed. I was totally relaxed and I was visioning. And after that particular massage, I went in for this massage and I had a hard time walking because my right hip was so sore. I thought about walking to the corner store, which is only like a block from where I was living. And it hurt to walk to the corner store. I didn't injure this hip. It wasn't a car accident or nothing like that. It just started over time and for no reason. And my hip was getting really sore. Anyway, I went to get this massage work done. And by the end of this fantastic massage, I could walk again. There was no pain in my right hip. So what happened there? Whatever this wound was, it was cleared. I have to tell you that my hips are sore again. When I had that done, it might have been, I don't know, easily a dozen years ago. But my hips aren't good again. So either I'm re-experiencing that wound, I'm going to go with not so much. I'm going to go with its other ones. That, unfortunately, the person that gave me that fantastic massage is not in my local area. But if they were, you can bet I would go back to see them. In any event, what other ways can you help clear these traumas? Now, what was that trauma related to that had to do with my right hip? I didn't get anything visually that said what it was, but when I was talking about it, right side of the body is your male side. According to, what I've read. Is it true? I don't know. So something to do with my male side. Everyone's got male and female. What? I'm in a male body. How can I be? And if you're female, you have male. They're just two different kinds of energies. But, for all intents and purposes, that's what people say. Your right side is male. So what did it have to do with? Something to do with male energies. This life, past lives, I don't know. But that with my right hip, so that's what I'm going to go with. And hip, you can look up on the internet, for example, Louise Hay used to do You Can Heal Your Life was her book. And she talked about various parts of your body and what aches, soreness, problems with various parts of your body might be related to in your mind-body complex. Okay, we're going back to the camouflaged area that you don't want to go there because you don't even think there's anything there. What else could it be? Embarrassment, shame. On the scale of human consciousness, shame is a very low vibration. Very, very low. What are you ashamed of? Even worse than what are you ashamed of is me, I am shame. When would you feel like you are shame? Well, probably because you've been told by people or your culture that whatever you are is a shame. So you don't have shame, you are shame. Very low vibe, and you've been tagged with it. So maybe that's why there's a lot of camouflage around it, because something that you didn't want to deal with it. Maybe you couldn't deal with it, so you just covered it up. You covered it up, put lots of stuff in front of it, and it's camouflage now. But low vibration, you need to remember to look. You can look on the internet, scale of human consciousness. And if you go look for shame, it's way at the bottom. I don't know. It might be something like, I can't remember exactly, but it's really low. Low vibration. And what does it mean? You're holding on to low vibration somewhere in your body, mind, memory complexes. It's locked in there. Why don't you want to have low because it's low vibration, low consciousness. It causes dis-ease because it is dis-ease. And it's locked into you, so it's going to outpicture in your body as sickness, many different ways. But if it's locked in you, it's there. And, why do you go see a healer? Because I'm sick. You got low vibration locked in you, you'll need a healing. And then to finally finish off, I'm going to go back to that story about the person, that had a healing, and all the people put, oh my God, don't talk about this. Because there's so much fear around this. And people always have stories about it. Why? Well, some people have got great stories, and some people have got horror stories and lots of fear and scared. So, do you want to know? If you don't want to know, just end the video now and don't watch the end. Okay, here? The story the person said was, some time ago, I took magic mushrooms. Couldn't get off, I couldn't move my body. I was lying in bed. And angels visited me, and Pleiadians visited me. And there were some experiences that I had where I saw something horrible. But very quickly, whatever the horrible thing was, it was taken away. And that was their story. And then all these people commented, oh my God, you can't take these magic mushrooms. I mean, how do you know they're not poisonous mushrooms? And, there's all these blah, 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 blah. But this person just wanted to say, hey, I took magic mushrooms. And I'm going to tell you, it was a healing experience. So that's one way you can access your unconscious. Plant medicines, a general category. I don't know what these plant medicines, I don't know about these things. There's not just magic mushrooms. There's all kinds of things. Plants. Well, some of these plants are toxic. Somebody wrote that down. Belladonna, it's toxic. Well, if you look at the medicines that we commonly use, these herbal plant medicines and things, we don't buy the herb anymore. Okay, this is your friendly neighborhood aspirin. Aspirin was originally derived from, I can't remember which tree it was, but a tree. The source of it was tree. Can't remember what it is. You can look it up. But that's where acetyl salicylic acid originally came from. Here's another one. Absorbine Jr. This one, an active ingredient in it is wormwood, a herb. I don't know where I want to go with this right now, but the strange story about wormwood is there's an alcoholic beverage that hundreds of years ago had wormwood in it. It's called absinthe. And probably, I'm not sure exactly when, I'd have to look it up, but let's say around, I don't know, 1900, 1920 or something. I'm going to guess. I didn't look it up recently. They had to take wormwood out of the absinthe. And for many decades, there was no wormwood in alcohol available because they thought it was toxic, perhaps, or perhaps, I don't know, that was the official story. But I don't know, it was probably, let's say, in the past 20 years, they've allowed wormwood back into absinthe. And all that time when you couldn't get wormwood in absinthe, I remember when I was a boy of about 5, getting that Absorbine Junior put on me. Oh, I don't have a bottle from back then. Was it still wormwood back then? I'm going to guess it was. Anyways, there's plenty of plant medications that have been outlawed. A lot of it happened in the early 1970s under the dictatorship of President Richard Milhous Nixon. Remember President Nixon? He had to resign in disgrace because he was a crook. He was a crook. But him and all his cronies and all the people who benefited from getting rid of plant medicines, big pharmaceutical companies, let's go with, banned all of these plant medicines, plant medicines, because they didn't want people to use them because they wanted to sell you prepackaged products from the drugstore. And to this day, I mean, look how hard it was to get some countries to partially legalize cannabis. But if you look at the late 1800s, you can still find old bottles or pictures of old bottles. Cannabis was given to people as a medicine. But then it was banned. Woody Harrelson has a good documentary about the banning of cannabis and how it all came about. Can you heal yourself by taking cannabis? It's a plant medicine. Could be. Can you heal yourself taking other ones like ayahuasca? Ibogaine is known to help people kick addiction to opiates. How many other of these plant medicines are available to us? I don't know. Seems like it was hidden from us on purpose by big pharmaceutical companies and the politicians that they were paying off. And so a lot of the stories, when people talk about magic mushrooms, it's illegal, so it must be bad. Brainwashing. Someone says, well, what about if they get the wrong kind of mushroom? What about that belladonna? Well, some of these plant medicines were sourced, and I don't know, might still be sourced to things like a heart medicine called digitalis. Might not be used anymore. It used to be used quite a bit. They changed the medications and things. But the whole story, again and again and again, is that not only did they ban the use of these plant medicines, but then they made a lot of stories up. They used a lot of propaganda through the media and drug representatives and seminars to brainwash the doctors. Why? Well, you brainwash the doctor and then you've got a captive market because they're only going to buy the stuff from you. The ultimate drug pusher is a doctor. And you think of the number of people that are addicted to opiates because doctors prescribed it, because the drug companies convinced the doctors that it was safe. And there's been lawsuits over this. The drug companies lost because it was true. So, unfortunately, doctors and nurses are very hard to wake up to these realities because they've been brainwashed from the time they were in pre-medicine, and medicine, and ever since by, the colleges of physicians and surgeons and the drug companies and the regulators and the hospital administrators and so many people who say, don't go there. That has been your talk. Have we got to the point where, it's still illegal for me to get a massage today because I live in a jurisdiction where the quarantine is still on and massages are not legally available. And magic mushrooms are illegal. So I'm still in a pickle because how else am I going to get into my subconscious if I can't get a massage and I can't use magic mushrooms? Or technically the liquor store is open. So I suppose I could wander down there, get a bottle of absinthe and get blind drunk. I'm not recommending it. Because getting blind drunk in order to get, the wormwood, no, it's not going to, it's going to make you totally unconscious. That's not going to help you. So what other ways do I have available to me, given it's a quarantine? I can't go see the massage therapist, and I don't have any magic mushrooms growing in my backyard, and I don't have a drug dealer on speed dial. The answer is, this is another free thing. It's unbelievable. It's a free thing, and it's called meditation. Yes, you can definitely access things that are hidden away in your subconscious or unconscious mind through meditation. I don't know how to meditate. Let's go with this one. Go to YouTube. Or look up meditation music. Find one that you like. Either put it on with speakers or get some headphones. Lie down. Relax yourself and have a good meditation. You still here? Our talk is over. Go put on YouTube. Do your meditation. Do it now. See what comes up.